Okay, so what we're going to cover today is Chapter 8, Lesson 6 in Jacobs. There were two new concepts in this lesson. The first one was if you have x times y in parentheses and we raise that to the, I'm sorry, that's supposed to be an a, to the eighth power, that is the same as x to the a, y to the a. So anytime you raise things that are in a parentheses to a power, that means everything in the parentheses gets raised to the power. So if we have 2x cubed and we square that, that means that we have 2 squared times x cubed squared, which means we're going to have 4 times x to the 6th, because when you raise a power to a power, you multiply the powers. So 2x cubed, quantity squared, is going to be 4x to the 6th. Okay, the other one was x over y raised to the power of a is going to be equal to x to the a over y to the a. So if we had something like 2x over 3, let's make it 2x squared over 3 to the third power, everything inside of the parentheses gets raised to the third power. So 2 cubed is going to be 8. X squared cubed is going to be x to the 6th, because remember we multiply our powers. And then 3 cubed is 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 again is 27. So that's going to be over 27. Everything inside the parentheses has to be raised to the power that's listed outside the parentheses. Okay, I also recommend, again, and I mentioned this in the last video, that you go to the summary and review page, page 382 to 383. And on that page, you will find a list of all of the exponent properties we have learned in this chapter. It is going to be extremely helpful for you to write all of these properties down on a note card that you have sitting in front of you while you're working the lessons. It is very easy to start forgetting about some of the exponent rules or confusing the exponent rules, because there are a lot of them. Okay, let's work some sample problems. We're going to start off with number 4, and we're going to look at part C. We have 2x raised to the third power. Remember, everything inside the parentheses gets raised to the third power. So this means 2 cubed times x cubed. 2 cubed is 8, so what we have is 8x cubed. Now we're going to do D. D is negative 5y to the 4th. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is raise negative 5 to the 4th power. That means we have negative 5 to the 4th times y to the 4th, because remember, y is automatically to the first power. So we multiply our powers. 1 times 4 is 4, so this is y to the 4th. Negative 5 to the 4th power is 625. Remember, when you raise a negative number to an even power, you get a positive number. So it's 625 times y to the 4th. Now we're going to hop down to part G. Part G is 4x to the negative 5, and all of that is raised to the second power. We have to raise everything to the second power. So we have 4 squared times x to the minus 10. It's x to the minus 10 because we have to multiply negative 5 and 2, because negative 5 is the power of x. So 4 squared is 16. So we have 16 times x to the minus 10. Now we're going to hop over to J. Part J says y squared divided by 2, and all of that is raised to the 5th power. Well, y squared to the 5th power is y to the 10th, because we multiply our exponents. And then we're going to divide that by 2 to the 5th. 2 is already automatically to the first power. So we raise it to, when we raise it to the 5th power, we multiply our exponents. 1 times 5 is 5. So what we have is y to the 10th power divided by 2 to the 5th, which is 32, because when you count by 2's, we have 2, 4, 8, 16, and then 32. And we're going to do one more from number 4, which is part K. Part K is 1 over x to the 6th, and this is raised to the third power. So everything in the parentheses gets raised to the third power. We get 1 to the third power divided by x to the 18th because 6 times 3 is 18. Remember, when you raise a power to a power, you multiply the exponents. 1 cubed is just 1, so this is 1 over x to the 18th. You could also write this as x to the negative 18. Okay, remember number 4 is just like number 9 that was assigned for homework. So now we're going to look at number 5. Number 5 is just like number 10. So the instructions for number 5 say which of these symbols, greater than, equals, or less than, should go in each of the following. So we're going to do a couple of these. So for part A, we have 2 squared plus 2 cubed, and then we have 2 to the 5th. And we need to know, is 2 squared plus 2 cubed greater than, less than, or equal to 2 to the 5th? Well, 2 squared is 4, and 2 to the 3rd is 8. 2 to the 5th is 32, which we just found out on the previous page. Well, 4 plus 8 is 12, and that is less than 32. So less than is the symbol that goes here. Okay, let's look at part B. Part B has 2 squared times 2 cubed, and then we have 2 to the 5th over here. Well, on the left side, what we have is two numbers with powers being multiplied. When you multiply numbers, they have the same base and also have exponents. We add the exponents. So this is 2 to the 5th power because 2 plus 3 is 5. And then on the right side, we have 2 to the 5th power. Those are equal. So we just put in an equal sign. Okay, part C. We have 2 squared to the 3rd power on the left side, and we still have 2 to the 5th on the right side. So on the left side, what we have is 2 squared being raised to the 3rd power. When you raise a power to a power, you multiply the exponents. So 2 squared to the 3rd power is going to be 2 to the 6th. And 2 to the 6th is going to be bigger than 2 to the 5th. So we need the greater than symbol. We're going to still do some more problems from more parts from number 5, but we're going to jump down now and do parts H, I, and J. So let's look at part H. We have 6 cubed minus 2 cubed on the left side, and then we have 4 cubed on the right side. Okay, so 6 cubed is 216, and 2 cubed is 8. 216 minus 8 is 208. 4 cubed is 64. Well, 208 is a lot bigger than 64. So 6 cubed minus 2 cubed is greater than 4 cubed. So now we're going to look at part I. For part I, we have 6 cubed times 2 cubed, and on the right, we have 8 cubed. Okay, so 6 cubed times 2 cubed is the same as 6 times 2 cubed. And 6 times 2 is 12. Well, 12 cubed has got to be bigger than 8 cubed. So we put in a greater than symbol. Okay, part J. We have 6 cubed divided by 2 cubed on the left side, and then we have 3 cubed on the right side. Well, 6 cubed divided by 2 cubed, since these are both raised to the same power, it means that we can put them inside of parentheses and raise them to the power together. 6 divided by 2 is 3, so this is 3 cubed. Well, 3 cubed is what we have on the right side, so this is equal. 6 cubed divided by 2 cubed is equal to 3 cubed. That was number 5, which remember is just like number 10. Okay, now we're going to look at number 6. Number 6 says use the table of powers of 8 at the right to find each of the following. So for part A, we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 4 times 4 times 4. Well, we're looking for powers of 8. And what do you notice here? We have 2 cubed times 4 cubed, right? Because we have 3 2's and we have 3 4's. Well, 2 cubed times 4 cubed is the same as 2 times 4 quantity cubed, which is the same as 8 cubed. And we can read off of the table in the book, 8 cubed is 512. So let's look now at part D. In part D, we have 2 times 8 squared times 4 times 8 squared. Well, notice we have a 2 times 4. 2 times 4 is 8. So we have 8 times 8 squared times 8 squared. We're just multiplying numbers that have powers. When you multiply numbers that all have the same base and also have powers, you just add the powers. We have 1 plus 2 plus 2. That means 8 to the 5th. And 8 to the 5th is 32. Whoops, it's not going. There we go. 32,768. Okay, now we're going to hop down to part F. For part F, we have 24 squared divided by 3 squared. Since these numbers are both raised to the same power, it means that we can put them in parentheses together and raise them to the power together. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So this is 8 squared, and 8 squared is 64. I'm going to open up a new page now because we have 2 more parts we're going to do for number 6. Let's look at part G. We have 8 divided by 8 cubed. Okay, this is just powers of 8. We have 8 to the first power on the top, 8 to the third power on the bottom. When you're dividing numbers with powers and they have the same base, we just subtract our exponents. So this is 8 to the 1 minus 3. 1 minus 3 is negative 2. And when we look in our table of powers, 8 to the minus 2 is 0.015625. Okay, we're going to do one more from number 6. Let's do part H. Part H is 2 cubed over 16 cubed. Notice these are both raised to the same power. That means that we can put them in parentheses together. 2 over 16 to the third power. We can divide the top and the bottom of our fraction by 2. So what we have is 1/8 to the third power. That is the same as 8 to the minus 1 to the third power. And that is the same as 8 to the negative 3. And in our table of powers, that is 0.001953125. So that is how you work number 6, which is just like number 11 in your homework. Okay, so moving on, let's look at number 7. Number 7 is just like number 12 that was assigned for homework. For number 7, it says find each of the following powers. Express your answer in scientific notation. This means your answer is not correct unless it's in scientific notation. So we're going to start off with part A. Part A is 2 times, sorry, that's not working right. 2 times 10 to the 4th power raised to the 3rd power. Everything inside the parentheses gets raised to the 3rd power, so we have 2 cubed times 10 to the 12th, because the 4th power gets multiplied by the 3rd power to get the 12. Well, 2 cubed is 8, so this is 8 times 10 to the 12th, and that's in scientific notation already. Okay, so let's look at part C. Part C is 3 times 10 to the negative 1, and all of that is raised to the 5th power. So that means we have 3 to the 5th times 10 to the negative 5, because negative 1 times 5 is negative 5. So 3 to the 5th power is 243. So what we have here is 243 times 10 to the minus 5. This is not in scientific notation. We need to move the decimal just after the 2 so that we have 2.43 times 10 to some power. Well, if we move our decimal here, that means we have to move it 2 spaces to the right to get back to the number we started with. 2 spaces to the right is in the positive direction. That means we add 2 to our exponent. So we go from negative 5 to negative 3. Remember, we made this number smaller. We went from 243 to 2.43. So we have to make the exponent bigger. Negative 3 is bigger than negative 5. Okay, let's hop over to, this was number 7, which is just like number 12. Let's hop over to number 8. Number 8 is just like number 13. Find x in each of the following. We have 3 to the 5th times 12 to the 5th equals x to the 5th. Well, this is the same as 3 times 12 to the 5th power equals x to the 5th. 3 times 12 is 36. 36 to the 5th equals x to the 5th. That means x must be 36. Let's do one more. Let's look at part D. Part D has 5 cubed to the x power is equal to 5 to the 12th. This is 5 to the 3x equals 5 to the 12th. So 3x equals 12. 12. and that means x equals 4. Sorry, the handwriting got messy there. So this